A wise monk named Master Zhen lived in a quiet monastery in the mountains. Although he lived simply, his wisdom was known all over the land. Many people came to him for advice because his words were full of deep truth. One day, the king heard about Master Zhen's wisdom. The king, who was powerful and proud, wanted to meet him and learn his secrets. So, the king traveled to find the monk. When the king arrived at the monastery, he saw Master Zhen working in the garden. The monk was wearing simple clothes and carefully tending to the plants. The king approached him and asked, "Are you Master Zhen?" The monk looked up, smiled, and said, "Yes, I am. How can I help you, Your Majesty?" The king said, "I've heard you are very wise, yet you live such a simple life. You don't have the luxury or power I do, but you seem so calm. My mind is always restless, filled with thoughts of duty and power. Can you teach me how to be peaceful like you?" Master Zhen looked at the king and replied, "Come to me at dawn tomorrow, before the sun rises, and I will show you." The king couldn't sleep that night. He was excited to learn from the monk. The next morning, he arrived early, eager to start. Master Zhen was already in the garden, watering the plants. "Come," the monk said, "take this watering can and water each plant, one by one. But as you do this, focus only on the task. Don't think of anything else. If any thoughts come to your mind, start again from the first plant." The king was confused, but he agreed. He took the watering can and started with the first plant. As he moved to the second plant, his mind began to wander, thinking about the kingdom. Realizing this, he remembered what Master Zhen had said and went back to the first plant to start again. The king tried again, watering the first and second plants. But by the time he reached the third plant, he began to think about the security of his kingdom and his enemies. He started over once more. No matter how hard the king tried, his mind kept drifting. By sunset, he had only watered a few plants. Tired and frustrated, he sat down on the ground. Master Zhen walked over to him and said, "Your mind is like this garden. It's full of thoughts, distractions, and worries. You can't focus on one task because your mind is scattered in many directions. To find peace, you must first train your mind to focus." The king asked, "But Master, how can I calm my mind when so many thoughts come to me?" Master Zhen smiled and said, "The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, you can't see clearly. But when it's still, everything is clear. To calm the mind, you must practice focusing on one thing at a time, until your mind becomes still, like a calm pond." The king understood and said, "I see now. I need to focus and clear my mind of distractions. Only then will I find peace." Master Zhen patted the king's shoulder. "Exactly. When you learn to focus, you can apply it to everything in life, whether in meditation, ruling your kingdom, or anything else." From that day on, the king practiced focusing his mind. Over time, he became calmer and wiser. He learned that the key to peace and wisdom is to focus on one thing at a time. If we look at our own lives, we can see how often our minds are filled with distractions, worries, and endless thoughts. Just like the king, we might feel overwhelmed by the many things we have to do, the challenges we face, and the responsibilities we carry. In these moments, it can be hard to find peace or clarity. But the lesson from Master Zhen's story is clear: true peace comes when we learn to focus. Whether we're facing personal struggles, professional challenges, or emotional turmoil, the ability to focus on one thing at a time can transform our experience. It's not about trying to juggle everything at once or worrying about what might happen in the future. It's about being present in the moment and giving our full attention to what we are doing right now. When we focus our minds, whether on a task, a relationship, or our own well-being, we bring clarity, calm, and control into our lives. And just like the king, we will begin to find wisdom and peace that helps us navigate through even the toughest situations. So, remember, the key to peace and success is not to be everywhere at once, but to be fully here, now, in this moment. The power of concentration can lead us to a more balanced and fulfilling life, no matter what we are going through.